Hello, welcome everyone to another match in the semi-finals weekend of the Cat Yum Cup. Here we've got a losers bracket match and one of the second round losers bracket matches, that is, between Mini Egg 23 and JayLye, seed number 11 versus seed 10. This one, I think, is going to be very close. I'm Potassium F, going to be commentating alongside Epic Man 2. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. So yeah, like you were saying, this is definitely going to be one of the closest matches. And, you know, going to the semifinals weekend, we've had a lot of matches that were already very close by default. So we're only going to amplify that with what is, I believe, one of the final matches that we got of the semifinals weekend for Cat Yum Cup here. It's definitely going to be amplified even further when you have both Mini Egg and JayLye, of all people, in the same ring facing together.
And I think this one's extra interesting because I was kind of looking at the two of the players before this match, and I was looking at every map in the pool, and I think no matter what pick any of the players make, my reaction is just going to be like, yeah, sure. I actually don't know. Close? I don't know who is advantaged on what type of map because they're like the same player. All of their scores are so close to the entire tournament. Both of these players normally, I would say, against most opposition, they would go for more of the LN kind of picks. Like, very well-rounded for both players. But, yeah, I mean, you look across the board and it's like, I can't really see a particular skill set that strongly favors one side or the other.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a normal convention with matches that go this late, though, because, you know, Mini Egg and JayLye are both very well renowned for their LN capabilities, but they're both very well capable of being able to play outside the category as well when most needed. And, you know, only really 4 LN picks that you can really choose from on the board. I would imagine JayLye probably would want to try and exploit Mini Egg trying to force them into picks outside the LN category, because again, this is a 1v1 scenario. You can't really do much outside that, but even the roles are so insanely close, just as much as the seedings are. Only a difference of 5, and it's what? 40 points to 35, which Mini Egg ends up winning here.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit hard to predict as well because Mini Egg did play his first match earlier this weekend, but JayLye got a win by default, so we have information of the scores of Mini Egg. Again, very consistent across the board. There was no, you know, particular strength between Rice and LN. But I guess we'll find out now with Mini Egg's first Protect here. Oh, I mean, looking at the scores from last week as well, you think that, okay, JayLye is a pretty strong LN player. Surely he goes for LN. But then you look at EX2 that they both played. 984k versus 983k. For these two players. So it's like, well, it does look like, however, Mini Egg protecting Rice 7. We're going for the tech route. And JayLye protecting LN3. So maybe it will be JayLye going for the LNs. Mini Egg might be going for the Rice, but I feel like high potential for breakpoints both ways here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially when you have both players that are fairly well-rounded, it is pretty much a no-brainer that they would want to try and at least go for some of their more comfortable picks first thing, in which the fact that we have a Shuno Hazama Protect coming from Mini Egg is definitely quite intriguing to me, because that one's like more in the abrasive and physical side of the Rice category. I mean, this is an evening map that I'm pretty sure everyone and their moms have already played at one point. Rice Free going to be the first of 2 bands that we have from either side. JayLye, the one to pick that I have a feeling, or I have a hunch at that maybe Mini Egg is probably going to opt in for a ban on something that can be of discomfort towards them, but it seems like EX2 is going to be the one that gets that instead. Honestly, a very sensible choice in the case that JayLye does end up really peaking when it comes to LN performances today or tonight, whichever area you're in. I mean, it's only really just today for me, and, you know, tonight for Potassium here, but pretty much still a lot you can really garner at here, as it's Mini Egg's turn to really make the first move here.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see what ends up being picked. It does seem like from these bands we're going to go into a bit of a Rice versus LN match. And in fact, Mini Egg going straight for the Protect right away, not wasting any time with it. Really wanted to play Shuno Hazama here. And okay, well, I'm just saying, yesterday Mini Egg played it as well, 991k, so I think this is very reasonable.
Yeah, indeed. When you have a 991k on this one, and especially, you know, for Mini Egg having beaten Oyama Mahiro on that, it was a difference of nearly 16,000 points or so, so being able to get a 991k is definitely a good signal that you should find some comfort within this one as well, albeit, again, this is Mini Egg facing JayLye with no intel as to how good they can perform on maps like this as well. So I have a feeling it's either JayLye is hiding some tricks up their sleeve, or perhaps they have some aces inside their sleeve, which they are going to have to bring out early on, because again, this is a first to 7 scenario, best of 15. You have 7 maps to win here. You have a lot you have to win, and that's going to have to force JayLye into winning some picks that they may not find themselves really feasible on.
Yeah, for sure. But going into this one, picking into, I guess, Mini Egg's comfort is the way that we're starting off this match here. One of the highest scores that they managed to get on the other match earlier, and we can see exactly why early on. Very straightforward patterning now as we're starting to get into the faster patterning here, but a bit of an accuracy lead for Mini Egg. Not too far ahead though, as JayLye does drop a little bit in one of those speed patterns.
Yeah, very early drops, and once again, drops are going to be very consequential in maps like this because of how short this is. This is only really just average length at what, 2.5 minutes or so, and going into this drop, there's a lot less patterns you really need to work with, but just some bursts here and there, some fast drills you need to work with at this tempo, and so far Mini Egg is at least making do with the crops blade on the groundwork for them to be able to capitalize upon this one so far. Still a lot of map really left to go, but this is already treading into the second half of the map where you get some more of these bursts introduced in between, and again, the control aspect of this one is going to be amplified by so much, but JayLye taking some more drops here and there just doesn't seem to be reaching the MA that Mini Egg is really working hard for here.
Yeah, that pretty much does it there. JayLye gonna be finding that first miss, big advantage now to Mini Egg, just has to hold on to that combo. Has a very decent chunk of accuracy lead alongside of that. And as you said, it's not that long of a map, especially compared to most of the other maps in the pool. So this is going to be quite hard. Going to have to hope for a complete collapse on Mini Egg's side. But it's seeming like this one might be in the bag.
Precisely. Unexpected item in the bagging area. Remove this item before continuing.
Oh, hey, hold up.
Now be placed in your bag.
Yeah, hold up. Little miss there from Mini Egg. So that there is a mistake back, but it is still the accuracy advantage to contend with. So just that one miss by itself is not going to be enough for JayLye to recover. But the accuracy drops coming out from Mini Egg as well. Hold on a second. This is getting a little bit close. As we're approaching the end. Can't afford many more accuracy drops like that. This is now 2,000 points difference. Still Mini Egg in the lead, but just needs to hold on a little bit longer. JayLye increasing the accuracy, but won't quite have enough time unless Mini Egg breaks again. But right at the end, that's going to be enough for JayLye to steal it in the last few seconds of the map, and that is going to be an early break point.
Bro, I was waiting for the moment to say JayLye had their club card accepted, but holy damn, the fact that Mini Egg was literally hanging on for as long as they could on that one alone, and it was only until the very last 3 seconds that they unfortunately gave in. That was so devastating.
Yeah, we can see the accuracy is so strong from Mini Egg there. The 200 count, the ratio well in the favor, but 2 misses to 1. JayLye was close enough behind to be able to capitalize that by small margins there. And we can see exactly what we were talking about at the start. It feels like anyone can win any pick when we're dealing with players of this caliber, of this similar level, really.
Yeah, precisely. Okay, that was quite the bold impression going into this matchup alone. I mean, it was looking really good for Mini Egg for out that one as well, but JayLye is already ahead with just a victory that was robbed straight from Mini Egg, and, you know, opting in for Ellen Ford, looking to ride off the adrenaline. Pretty much this is a very JayLye pick if I've seen any. Like, pretty much this is the Ellen wildcard that we have in the Ellen pool. And I mean, the map itself pretty much speaks more volumes than, you know, how I would describe it, because there's a lot of patterns that you really have to try and work your way through. And I think that's exactly what JayLye is looking to try and exploit here against Mini-Egg. But at the same time, Ellens are definitely Mini-Egg's more stronger suit as opposed to Rice, in my opinion.
Yeah, like this is the kind of interesting thing with this match is I kind of associate both of these players with like, you know, light LN bias kind of when it comes to matchups most of all. I would say they're just as strong at both skill sets, but you know, relative to most players, this is where both of these players' strengths are. But yeah, it's just hard, you know? They're up against each other. They're both going to be strong on this map. And again, this is even shorter than the last 2 minutes. And we've seen just how much singular misses can sway this lead.
Yeah, precisely. Even less time that JayLye has to be able to try and take upon something like this, and that's gonna amplify the pressure that he has to even try and continue the streak that they've gone so far. So going into the map as is, there's pretty much a good start from both players. No drops to be seen just yet. It's at this point gonna have to come down to the MA from how things stand, because there's a lot of faster bursts, a lot of boss sweeps we have in this map as well that can definitely be really hard to control the staggered releases of, but Mini-Egg has the smallest biases so far, as is still dead even between the two. Nothing really is such an outlier when it comes to score, and it's really just, you know, a little bit of blood coming from the nose. But at the same time, JayLye is still doing everything they can to keep Mini-Egg in check no matter what. Still an entire 3/4 of the map, and pretty much going to stay that way for maybe a little bit until maybe some of the more heavier parts of this map kick in.
Yeah, I would say so far both players have done about the same. JayLye had a little bit of a shakier start, but recovered from it just fine. Now Mini-Egg starting to drop a little bit, hitting a little bit late on Mini-Egg's side, actually, and that might hurt a little bit. Oh, that's a messy miss coming in from Mini-Egg, the first one to fall with that full combo. Now JayLye going to take a 6,000 point lead.
Yeah, that miss from Mini-Egg definitely gonna switch things up already, as, you know, they were literally giving signs of slowly losing their balance on the treadmill and suddenly just fell off right the moment that JayLye just genuinely wanted it, and now that's gonna bring JayLye to get another comfortable lead. But even then, even saying that 5,500 is a comfortable lead is genuinely just underselling it. Mini-Egg does drop a little bit, but it's really just down to, like, you know, some of these minuscule drops that can definitely change things a little bit. But if it does come down to maybe some breaks from JayLye, things can still definitely switch over. But that's the one thing that they're in charge of preventing right now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a bigger lead at this point on the map than the previous one here, but this one, JayLye was struggling a little bit with the accuracy just before, hitting a little bit early, but now seems to have stabilized, increasing that accuracy back. The lead, in accuracy at least, is not that big, but the one miss is doing work here for JayLye, and that is going to be the end of the map there, managing the full combo, the first one we've seen in the match. And again, oh, these accuracies are so close. In fact, without the misses from Mini-Egg, oh, who would have won? Who knows? That would have been really close there.
Yeah, but these misses just really seem faithful enough that it would have given up Mini-Egg's score completely, because had it not been for 5 of these breaks that Mini-Egg took, it very well could have gone in his favor. But again, it's just the consistency game coming from JayLye here.
Yeah, just winning off of combo for the first 2 picks. Small margins, though. So we are going to have plenty of chances. Still a long way to go in this match. Mini-Egg should be able to come back if they have a good next pick. We'll see what the pick ends up going here.
Yeah. I feel like for Mini-Egg, they looked really confident when it came to Rice 7, only for it to be robbed at the very end, but there is still a good chance that if it does come down to picking into anything similar to that map, that he can potentially take a point, because now JayLye is up by 2 points. He wants to try and at least equalize things to be able to follow his favor a little better. So I would imagine at this point, it's either Mini-Egg goes for something like Rice 5, Drunspla, or they just continue on with the Ellen category, but try their best to keep on the consistency game. Try and match that JayLye so that any misses that JayLye takes as well can very, very easily just be feasted upon.
I mean, looking at the scores from yesterday, I'm looking at Mini Egg's Rice 6, looking very promising in terms of the score that they managed to pull off yesterday, at least. Definitely, like, most of the picks, though, in the pool, Mini Egg was doing quite well, quite similarly, I would have to say. So, not going to be too many obvious picks. It kind of might just come down to how Mini Egg's feeling in the moment, and it seems like the mood is EX1.
Dude, you're kidding me? Mini Egg, bro, looking at the IRC chat, he's deliberately saying we should warm up on EX1. This is not a warm-up, man. Are you out of your mind?
This is not a warm-up map.
Oh my god. Oh my god,
well,
this guy.
I will say, though, Mini Egg did not play this yesterday, so we are completely blind for both players. Wait, really? Am I just?
Yeah, he got a 941k on this yesterday.
Oh, I can't be blind. Okay, 941k, 19 misses. I mean, it is that kind of map. 5 minutes long. the tiebreaker Rice, as it were.
Yeah. Essentially that. This does make me wonder, like, how credible this map's going to be, because, yeah, like, genuinely, like, comparatively to so many other people that I've seen play this map is genuinely, like, one of the hardest things in the world. I have no idea how this is classed as semifinals when this is clearly, like, what? Like, I think way above what most tournaments would even tread upon this early, but it's like, Mini Egg, even when it comes down to physicality, is still able to pull out a 940k out the bag. So my question would definitely have to be, well, how well they can try and match that, how even perform better, and then how JayLye performs on this one, because again, JayLye is going to be showing us what the world's not seen yet. He's going to unleash he's already been unleashing a monster with the Trojan horse that he's brought into the game here, and yet somehow things are looking pretty tight first thing in the match. I mean, it's an early start, still 5 and 11 minutes, well, 5 minutes 11 seconds to really tread through, as some core jacks are pretty much going to fill this first quarter here.
Yeah, I mean, you said both of them are starting, but like starting well, but we are going to be seeing misses for sure. First one coming out of Mini Egg, but again, with the nature of this map, individual misses are going to be mattering less. So having one miss here or there, no big deal, as long as you keep the accuracy up, as long as you try to not chain miss, basically. Don't have a really catastrophic miss overall. Mini Egg finding another miss there, still keeping it above 99%, but JayLye is going to take a little bit of a lead at the start of this.
Yeah, exactly, and the fact that JayLye has a lead on this is definitely going to switch the plans that Mini Egg had at least once for this match. I mean, you know, I would imagine if I am interpreting Mini Egg's term of a warm-up here, it probably would have to come down to trying to get used to the idea of pushing physicality on maps like this. Because again, there's really so much you can do with this one. There's a lot of parents that really make you have to try and, you know, strive for a good score, in which, yeah, we've seen it before. JayLye is dropping a little bit as well, so things are slowly evening out between both these players. At the same time, JayLye still in with an FC run. From what I'm seeing is no longer happening.
Of course that was going to happen at that moment, right? That was.
I know, yeah, I know. I mean,
Mini Egg does find the trade, but importantly now the accuracies are dead even between the two players. It is 3 misses to 1 though, so JayLye is going to have a bit of a combo advantage. But with the accuracies as they are, this lead might start shrinking really fast at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just depends on how dirty a lot of these misses are going to be, but at the same time, the map is hard enough in the second half that it really just makes you bleed. Like, you just cannot go out of this one without expecting some kind of challenge, and the way that this map does it is, you know, quite difficult, especially with that one miss for JayLye serve as testament to the handle. Okay, double trades back to back. Right.
Oh, okay. But JayLye is missing really messily now, all the way down to the 98.8 range. Mini Egg managing to hold on to this accuracy really well, and now has a lead of his own, 6,000 points and counting, as JayLye is going to be needing to bring this accuracy back up, but the repeated misses again. Now this is getting a little bit too hard for him, it seems. Miniegg does trade again, so the combo, or the miss count at least, is similar for the two players, but the accuracy now, JayLye with really messy misses again, winning, Miniegg winning these trades.
Yeah, at this point, the map itself just stops becoming a regular map, and it just evolves more into some kind of stamina test to just check those who just generally have a better physicality cap, in which we can see that Miniegg is doing what they can, absolutely prove that as much as they can. I mean, there's been so many dirty misses throughout the remainder of this map, but going into the final quarter, this is the point where there's only really so much more you could do. There's still misses coming out from both sides, but Miniegg may as well take it if it does not come down to even a few catastrophic drops from their side, because again, JayLye is still trying to hang on. They're hanging on for dear life, but misses are literally preventing them from being able to take the scoreline unless Miniegg just lets go to the keyboard for a second. But the map still ramps up the difficulty after this section as well.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, even with a few misses, it's going to have to be really messy, because this accuracy gap is very large, especially for a map this long. It's going to be hard to come back from combo alone, but yeah, as you said, it's going to rely on JayLye actually holding on, but neither player is managing to keep the combo at this point. Miniegg running away with it, and it seems like a really solid pick to get Miniegg on the board in this match.
Yeah, and a very objective one is that as well. The first, this is like the biggest score lead we've seen on any map so far, and it's literally like, what, the most obvious one, the lowest hanging fruit out of any other map on the board, and you know Miniegg just has to take that opportunity. Difference of MA is shining bright, but at the same time, this is a PB from Miniegg on this map. This is, what, literally only 4,000 points higher than what they got from yesterday? And this is just JayLye just taking a shot in the dark with a map like this, and yet it's still their pick now to make. So there's a lot that's going to have to be considered for this next pick, I want to imagine. What do you think?
Yeah, well, it does feel like so far JayLye doesn't really have any reason just yet to take any big risks here. Miniegg taking a little bit of a risk with the EX1, but paying off very well. But it feels like JayLye's plan should be unchanged for now, should still go for one of these LNs maybe, but Hybrid 1 might be switching it up a little bit. Still makes a lot of sense. Both of these players, very strong Hybrid players.
If anything, I was expecting Hybrid 1 would probably be one of the first maps you could pretty much switch on reasonably, because again, this is like, I suppose, the closest alternative you can go to something like LN2 without having to just go right for the LNs, because you want to be able to buffer that for if you need a pick that can be considered safe. I mean, Solo Strike is definitely a map that is pretty difficult to hit. It's your run-of-the-mill MWC hybrid. They literally called us and they wanted their hybrids back, but no, we just said that we're keeping this one. Even though this was literally used in Abstraction first, but I'm not one to say that.
A UE's classic. But 2 minutes again. We're going through a lot of short maps early on here. But as you said, it is nice also from JayLye's perspective to keep these like pure LN maps for later on in the match. We are still quite far from the end of it, of course, being first to 7 now.
Indeed. Pretty much still a lot of picks you can really go for, but at this point, this is pretty much going to have to force Miniegg to try and do his absolute best on maps that will force him out of his comfort zone when it comes to this turn, because again, I believe this is over in the losers bracket. Yeah, this is in the losers bracket, so whoever is going to have to try and proceed into finals from here on out is definitely going to have to try and put in a lot of effort to ensure that they can make it through, in which this is pretty much Miniegg's call to try and start something, start some kind of character arc when it comes to this matchup alone. And so far, the bias of the score is looking to be in his favor as well. The MA looks really good, and even now holding better accuracy than JayLye, and only going to be accentuated even further going off that miss that JayLye just unfortunately led to just being thrown out here.
I mean, not the most messy miss in the world for JayLye, but is going to cost quite a lot. It's 0.2% accuracy advantage along with the miss for Mini Egg, and the map, again, not too long, so there's not going to be a whole lot of time to recover from this. Mini Egg does drop the accuracy quite a lot, though. So this Ack is within touching distance, but it will kind of rely on Mini Egg making a big mistake, and will that happen? Oh, JayLye, actually, it's going to happen again for him first. Going to extend this lead in Mini Egg's favor.
Yeah, and honestly, not the best places to do that as well, because especially with the control that this map demands for when it uses a lot of these embedded density-oriented patterns that pretty much everyone and their moms know that Uis usually does in his maps when it calls for that. It's literally so dense, and the way that this map does it only really is just amplified even further by the general control that you need to look out for, because the way that these LNs really work is that they're very stream-oriented. I mean, this section is a lot calmer. You can use this one as a breather, but afterwards, it's where it really starts to rock, and that's one thing that JayLye just cannot mess up on whatsoever, because that's when it introduces some more of these free lane density-oriented jump stream patterns, and exactly as I say that, Mini Egg looks to try and continue, at least trying to continue his pace with this map. He's on an FC pace right now, but JayLye is still recovering their action no matter what. It's just gonna have to come down to a few misses, but I think at this point, Potassium, it's already done for this pick. The final jump drill comes down, and it's a 10,000 point victory for Mini Egg to equalize it 2-all.
Yeah, I mean, we heard it from Mini Egg themselves. EX1 was the warm-up. Now, warmed up, as we see FC coming in, tying things up. Breakpoint 1 each now.
Mini Egg, gonna to ride off the adrenaline of this pick. There's pretty much a lot that he can really choose for. I probably would imagine he could just go for some other LNs or something, or other maps, but it seems like he is alluding to the fact that he could warm up on LN as well. I suppose EX1 was more the Rise warm-up, but if we're warming up on LNs outside of EX2, then...
Yeah, unfortunately, EX2 off the table. Mini Egg regretting the ban choice. But, I mean, do you need to warm up on the LNs if you just win the Rise?
I mean, the number of Rice maps definitely outweigh the number of maps we have outside that as well, so...
Yeah, definitely plenty if Mini Egg wants to go to that. I mentioned Rice 6 earlier being a good place to go. Maybe Rice 5 also could come out, but it's going to be Rice 6 first. So Mini Egg sticking with the Rice maps after getting some very good success on EX1, but I think, as you mentioned also earlier, it might be hard to translate that EX1 advantage to the rest of the pool, given the sheer difference in physicality and difficulty that map had.
Yeah, exactly. If anything, EX1's more like a sore thumb that sticks out from the rest of the Rice pool overall, just because of how, at that point when you're playing EX1, it's like literally no one's able to play it besides from like, what, the top 0.00000.005% of players maybe? Whereas this one is like a lot more manageable. This one can definitely easily be played by both players. Fun for the whole family, but EX1's just like a completely different entity on its own. Like
it's like an SV pool pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the placement of the EX maps are literally in the same place that SVs were anyways, so
yeah, the gimmick is being good.
Yeah, exactly.
back to the FC battles for the other ones, which I guess in a way, you know, thinking about it, EX1 having such like a physically difficult map is nice as a warm-up, because you don't have the same level of like pressure, like note to note. You don't have to sharpshoot accuracy or get a full combo or anything like that. So
yeah,
I kind of get it in that way. But now with these ones, definitely with we're seeing players getting FCs between these two players. It will feel very bad to get a miss on one of these. This one being slightly longer than the others, but still a miss can cost you.
Absolutely. And when it comes to things that cost quite a bit and you can't afford some kind of return in exchange for such mistakes, then there's pretty much a lot of homework you're gonna have to do in that regard as well when it comes to economics or within a match itself. I mean, riding off the X1 and going into regular rice pools after that is definitely gonna feel like night and day. And I feel like for me in that regard, it's like, do you really want to overwarm yourself for these kinds of picks where it's like you're warmed up enough to be able to play on maps like this, but you don't want to do it to a point where you'll feel too comfortable and then you'll end up and then the second you get some kind of mistake on board, it's gonna cost a lot, which nothing's really happening for this one. The accuracies are not really budging as there's the smallest score lead that Miniegg could afford as possible, but it's still only just past the first quarter of this map.
Yeah, both players holding on to their accuracies, bit of an advantage ratio-wise for Miniegg. So going to hold on to a little bit, but of course, that's only under the assumption that both players continue to full combo the entire map, and we can already see these accuracies slowly changing a little bit, both players dropping off slightly.
Seems like there's a bit of an offset between the two now that there's some drops coming from JayLye and these pairs. Miniegg still doing what they can to ensure the score is where it is, but now finally reaching destination 0 as JayLye takes the miss, and now the miss count is no longer 0 but 1 as it's Miniegg next to try and take it 3-2 for their favor. I mean, they have 23 in their name, but there's still so much they need to do in this map. This is still fairly long. It's 3 minutes and 6 seconds, I suppose, so still a lot of time for either player to see whether any kind of outcome can happen, but JayLye still keep trying to work on the recovery game as I am currently speaking.
Yeah, I'm not gonna call the map right now. I remember what happened the last time I did that, but It does look hard to see how JayLye is going to come into that. Those misses, very messy. That dropped his accuracy all the way down to 99.2, only just recovering a little bit now, but there's just not enough time to reach Miniegg's level again. So up to Miniegg to really just keep this down pat, keep the combo, can afford a couple misses if he wants, as long as this accuracy stays above JayLye's. But it's seeming like not really enough time in the map for that.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like the mistakes from JayLye were a little too much for them. 16,000 points and just further pushing the equation, pushing the bar for what's possible on this map as well. It's what Miniegg is going to do for now, pretty much. Looking to be a very dominant victory once again to continue their streak of victories for the time being. A near 990k score, not quite. It's only just off by just about 96 points from that margin, but still enough to make sure that is yet another point in the favor of Miniegg. Now JayLye has a bit to work on. Oh boy.
Yeah, clean full combo there from Miniegg, and it really feels like Miniegg has woken up entirely, really warm after that EX1. And yeah, momentum heavily in favor of Miniegg. It's up to JayLye now. Gonna have to pick back, I would assume, back into this LN pool. I don't think you can hold it back for that much longer now.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the amount of options you really have within the map pool itself, like, pretty much there's still a lot of rice picks that Miniegg would go into. There's pretty much a lot of business they can go into, but seems like despite that, JayLye will revisit the LN category with none of the LN1. Correct to your statement, Potassium, as this will be the cool donation timing hell or pack. I mean, pretty much everyone knows what Costella's maps are like when you allow them to spin the wheel on these kinds of coordination-esque maps, and, clock it at 280 BPM. This is definitely going to be quite a challenge for both these players, I want to say, especially with the fact that it is quite fast, and it's also just about over 3 minutes of playing.
Yeah, always hard to maintain the consistency and the accuracy on maps like this. So we are going to be seeing, potentially some mess ups here and there when it comes to the 200 counts. But again, yeah, we'll just have to see what the consistency is like for the two players. It's looking like Miniegg is on a bit of a streak, but I do know that JayLye does typically do quite well on the LN1s as well.
Absolutely. Pretty much. At this point, I think JayLye should be able to go in with this one. Like, maybe just based off the momentum that Mini-Egg's been on at the moment, JayLye probably could have been warming up secretly with some of these other picks that we've had thus far as well. Maybe if the nerves haven't really kicked in for JayLye yet, but I think this is the point where the nerves will start to creep in for either side because, again, losers bracket match, stakes are going to be so much higher than usual as, you know, pretty much the only option you really have is to just keep moving forward. The only way from here is up, as JayLye is going to have to try and make up for what has been happening in the past few maps. They've lost 3 maps in a row. They did win 2 maps in the introduction of this match alone, but they're going to have to try and take some points back if they want to equalize things with Mini-Egg now, who's in the lead by just a point.
Yeah, absolutely. But here we go. LN1 going to be starting into this. Bit of a rough start there from JayLye. Not quite adjusted to the timing, adjusted to the LN at the start there. So Mini-Egg's going to come off with a little bit of a lead. But then again, it has been mostly the misses that have cost most of the points so far in this match. So we'll see if both players can hold on to this full combo throughout the whole map. And in fact, this accuracy just about tied once again already.
Yeah, of course. It wouldn't be an LN map without these two just already FCing past the 1,000 combo mark, as so far so good. We're going past the first quarter and both players still having what it takes when it comes to accuracy. Mini-Egg winning the accuracy battle by only what? 0.08% in accuracy. JayLye still trying to recover some of the accuracy by a little bit, but at this point still really close between the two. At this point, if it does come down to any mistake that Mini-Egg makes, they want to try and make sure that he doesn't get it, because there's still a lot of patterns you really need to look out for. This map really tackles your discovery for control-oriented coordination, which Castella usually likes to map as well. So if it does come down to Mini-Egg dropping on any of that, that's going to be very consequential if JayLye still keeps onto the combo.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like these accuracies have stabilized in the past minute or so. So we are seeing about 0.1% here for Mini-Egg, but that's only enough for a 1,000 score lead here. Both players still on the FCs, so this could flick back and forth at any moment, it feels like, at this point.
Yeah. It's just the fact that there isn't really much of an advantage you can see. Like, both players, even when you have the difference in accuracy, both players still just manage to keep things all together because they're just so locked into this one. It's like, none of them really want to give up, but none of them really want to give it into the favor of one another. So it's really just down to JayLye to keep onto the combo because they're pretty much playing catch-up with Mini-Egg here, and now that's going to be put into fruition going off that miss from Mini-Egg now.
Oh, but man, this is not going to be that much of a lead. Enough for JayLye to be in the lead, but that was a super clean miss, a cleaner miss than you would expect on an LN1. Mini-Egg still with the accuracy lead, but just not by enough. JayLye is close enough behind that this combo is going to do everything, but importantly, has to keep onto it. There can be no mistakes from JayLye's side, or this is going straight back to Mini-Egg in a second.
Precisely. Nothing can really just properly portray the weight of this situation when if you are in the shoes of JayLye here. You're the one that has to carry on the FC because now your opponent has dropped. You need to ensure that you have it at all costs. The requirement for this examination is genuinely so tough, but even the score is decreasing.
Even an FC might not be enough. Look at this score going close down to the wire. It's only 700 points.
God.
Accuracy would still favor of Mini-Egg. Even a 200, I think, would be a death sentence here for JayLye, as the score's still shrinking over time, but the map, it's running out, and I feel like there's just not enough time for Mini-Egg to clutch it back. It's gonna be 500 points. JayLye just barely hanging on. Good 200 count, but the ratio for Mini-Egg was almost enough.
It was just one slider break that costed it for Mini-Egg. Dude, had it not been for the slider break alone, this literally would have been it. He literally could have gone and just played this map and mic dropped right afterwards. But no, JayLye just hung on when all the odds were against him. And that's honestly insane. The fact that all it took was that one slider break to break it 544 points. Had it not been for that, this could have been like maybe 1,500 points in the favor of Mini-Egg. But even then, still such a negligible score differential on just that map alone, as things are equalized once again.
But yeah, at the end of the day, the point lead doesn't matter as long as you're at least one higher than your opponent. So JayLye keeping things in. It's back to 3-3, and the momentum maybe stifled a little bit here now.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, Potassium, I have no idea why these players can really use, because we've seen from all these other maps that no one really has such a major advantage. The only map that was, well, very clearly objective was EX1, and that's it. But, you know, looking at LN1 now does make me kind of fear the future of this match and what we could be seeing of the next picks, because there's only really 3 picks that both players need to win to force a tiebreaker in. One of them just wants to get this match out of the way. One of them just wants to just make it into finals, but this is going to be an uphill climb for one another to be able to take it.
Yeah, and it kind of does feel like, I mean, Mini Egg has had a couple of really good performances on some of the Rise picks, but those Rise picks might be running out quite soon. As you said, EX1 already out. These, like, kind of mixed Rise and tech Rise picks, those have been working out quite well for Mini Egg, but there's not really much left. You know, at some point, gonna have to be forced to pick into something like a Rise 1 or Rise 2, and those ones, typically, you know, you might not see the same level of advantage in the accuracy for Mini Egg there.
Yeah, pretty much. I probably would expect Raisu could be a solid pick. I mean, there must have been a reason as to why JayLye would have banned Rice free, because of how similar that is, and it's literally what? It's literally just a perpendicular angle in that regard, in which, yeah, it's gonna get picked anyways. Raisu it is, and honestly, probably the best pick that Media could have taken this one out as well, because this is pretty much the point where you're going to have to start exhausting categories, whether you like it or not. There's only really just under 4 free picks that all categories have now, or at least besides from the EX pick. Besides from the EX pool, that's gone completely. All you have now is like some Rice, then you only have 2 hybrids and 2 LNs, which this one's definitely going to have to be quite an important one, because Media has to break the tie once again.
Yeah, I guess the question is here, is this physical enough for Mini Egg to have the advantage clearly over JayLye? If JayLye can keep up with this, and I mean, it is 275 BPM, but yep. if he can keep up with this is going to be very tight. But I think Mini Egg has to be banking on just that physicality difference we saw on the EX1. Another really short map though, 2 minutes only.
Yeah. Basically barely any leg room for you to really try and work with, as this is going to be yet another shot that Mini Egg has to take if they want to be able to try and proceed further in the match, because at this point the picks are only just going to get even worse for either side. Some Rice from here and there. I mean, that's exactly what Mini Egg has to capitalize on, right? I mean, we've seen it through all the other maps so far, and he's been doing strong on all the Rice maps ever since EX1, you know, had his fair share of an incident, whereas JayLye is just slowly coming back to the equation with some of these performances we've seen. It's like something had just awoken inside JayLye, and now he's here to try and bring things into their favor, because at one point, one of them is just going to have to try and win the stare down, win this face-off that we call a match, because things are only going to get denser, and this jump stream section is here to kickstart the episode off.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a cleaner start here from Mini Egg. We can see the ratio difference right out the gate, and in fact, JayLye seems like struggling to maintain any kind of accuracy, just holding on, really. Should be increasing now, though. These hit error is getting a little bit tighter over time.
Indeed, especially when a map like this is just really fast, and you also have the luxury of the OD being even stricter as well. So it's going to make things a little more difficult. There is some hidden reverse shields as well in this section, which JayLye had dropped a little bit, not even confident when it comes to the raw accuracy of the section, because it basically the one thing that demands everything that you have on consistency. If you don't have even one page in that book, then you're basically done. You failed the exam. Yet Mini Egg is doing what they can when it comes to these kinds of patterns and going straight into the chorus. Once again, we will be featuring a lot more of these trails, a lot more of these anchors, as well as it's really tough to be able to try and work your way with a flow like this.
Yeah, definitely strong level of comfort advantage here. Mini Egg kind of flying through these so far. 99.85 It's going to be on track for a 995k at this rate, but has to hold on to it. There's still a bit left, and these accuracies slowly getting closer over time. Miniegg is dropping a little bit, while JayLye seems to have found his footing and increasing that. Going to hope to be able to reach that 99.7.
Yeah, there's only really so much you have left of this map because we're slowly approaching the final 100,000 score of this map, and even then, JayLye has dropped enough that Miniegg.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
Is that enough? That's going to be enough for the second miss from
enough!
Miniegg. It's going to be enough, JayLye. The second Rice map that JayLye absolutely robs in the last 5 seconds of the map. Miniegg just needed to hold on for a couple more seconds there. But the combo is what matters at the end here.
Son! Why? Miniegg, you really want me to say it. You got into the car crash. And the airbag flew out as well. JayLye's going Ellen free. Oh my God. This guy, bro.
All of these robberies, I feel like every single one of JayLye's points has been so close. Insanely hard fought for from both sides. But now, I mean, we've been saying it, JayLye's been leaving these Ellen picks till later on in the match, and now the Protect going to be coming out here. JayLye is going to be trying to go for comfort to secure this lead.
Precisely, and honestly, the best opportunity for JayLye to really pick into some of their best picks as well, because now they're in the driver's seat. If you win this one and you win another, you could basically just get and just inch as much as you can to getting into that match point situation, because that's exactly what JayLye wants to do. They want to be able to try and win as soon as possible, and if it does come down to winning something like Ellen Free, for example, then it's really going to change the trajectory of what you can really aim for in this match, because this is the point where you're going to start losing all the good picks, and you need to try and make everything you can about all the picks you have remaining, because if you even let a single one go to waste, then it's going to be really punishing here. And let's come down to Miniegg winning off this one as well. He's going to have to require another breakpoint, so we've seen the second victory from JayLye on one of these Rice maps, and even Ellen1 was really close by default. Could this be yet another reversal for Miniegg? Is the next question I'm gonna say.
Oh, you know it can be.
Yeah.
I think every single one of these picks could be won by Miniegg, and the same can be said for JayLye. There's no clear-cut points. I do feel like Miniegg's had some accuracy advantage, but the LN, I feel like the accuracy has been very even.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like when you go into the latter parts of a match, and when you incorporate the nerves that both these players are probably feeling, it's like there's just a lot you have to consider, and it's also just trying to think from the shoes of one player, where it's really hard to be able to dictate what exactly they're feeling at the moment, or how exactly they can really dig themselves out of a situation like this, which may as well just be very treacherous to go into in a semifinals match to begin with. I mean, the map pools are difficult. They're only going to get even harder from here, because all we have is just 2 more weekends of map pools after this one, and this is the final match of semifinals as it currently stands, as we will be going Ellen free, trans riot music. JayLye has only 200 points in his favor. What is this?
Yeah, very good start for both players.
Amazing.
But JayLye is going to be the first one to find a break. Dropping down to 99.5, so Miniegg off to a bit of a lead overall. But of course, plenty of time for this to change. We just saw a bigger lead being squandered in the last few seconds twice in this one so far. So we'll see. So far, it's only going to be 4,000 points. Definitely able to come back, especially if JayLye manages to increase this accuracy back up to the same level as Miniegg.
Precisely. To Miniegg, it's just more cars to crash as it currently stands. Just pretty much keep it at 5,000 points. Now they found their footing, going off some misses from JayLye, and this is a map you don't really want to do it, because at the same time, some of these patterns can definitely be somewhat comfortable. I mean, the OD is less stricter ultimately, and there's just a lot more land motions that you really have going on, but it's just the fact you need to do it very consistently that's really the main challenge that is really demanding here, which Miniegg does what he can, and going off that miss from JayLye, yeah, okay. That's a shot to the chest right there, I've seen any.
That's a messy one. You saw the hundreds and 50s flying there for JayLye. Dropping down now quite a fair bit behind in the accuracy, and that is 2 big drops versus the full combo from Miniegg still. Again, not going to call it, but this, I mean, it's 14,000 points.
Yeah, 14,000 points is generally so much in a matchup like this. Like, we've been seeing a lot of close points back to back, and it just feels like a gift from the gods to just spare us from having to scream our lungs out, unless Miniegg just lets go of the keyboard. But I really doubt he's even listening right now, because he's too stuck focusing on, well, the song you're hearing, and then also the patterns you have as well, because it's still super dense from start to finish. You still have a lot of these flow patterns that really just challenge your discomfort for a lot of these LNs. A lot of graces in the center, as well as it's literally just making you look at. Wait,
no, too late, way too late.
Thank God.
No,
I was gonna say, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, if JayLye didn't find those misses, that was another tragedy in the making. But Miniegg had way more than enough of an advantage there, and that was just too late for that combo to really come into effect. So an immediate breakpoint response here. Miniegg keeping things tied up 4-4, and both players losing their protects in this match is not something that you see every day.
Exactly. You know something up when both these players have literally won each other's protects, right?
It just goes to show, you know, not even the players know what maps they'd be relatively stronger on. That's how kind of even both of them are.
Yeah. That point just really begs that a lot of these maps are just very volatile in terms of how well you can really do on them, because this is a map that Miniegg has won. Like I was saying, we can very easily see reversals on maps like these. We've seen it on Rise 2, we've seen it on Ellen Free, and whatever Miniegg is going to pick next is going to pretty much repeat the same story of all the maps we've been seeing so far, in which this is the point where it's going to have to matter a lot now. It's pretty much a best of 7 situation now. You only have 3 maps to win, in which how many can you really win here if it's just going to have to come down to the best picks you can make when your back is against the wall?
Yeah, I mean, the picks that are left are going to be, at this stage, the least comfortable ones for both players. You know, the picks that both of them have kind of been avoiding for the longest time. I guess JayLye still has the LN2 that feels probably pretty good to go into. But the Miniegg's Rice picks definitely seem like they're running out quite quickly in terms of the comfort level. We're going to go into the Rice one, though. So going for speed. Definitely not a guaranteed win, but normally you would associate speed more with the higher physicality player, typically.
In which there is pretty much no players that are really leading here. A Tale of Two, as I think the song's title is way too literal for this match as well, as it's a tale of two just fighting each other to the absolute death. A literal gladiator arena that, like, we're just seeing 2 players playing out of their minds, coming from the European and Asian regions, as well as this is still going to prove as the same position for either player. It's a really important pick. There's no way JayLye is going to just win off this, right? I've said this before, it's going to feel like the earliest curse possible. I am scared to even think that's even going to be the outcome at this point.
Yeah, we'll have to see if JayLye can pull off another breakpoint, but Miniegg looking to rebuild that momentum that he had going earlier on in the match. Still will not be over for either player for losing this one. There's still quite a few maps left to be played, still opportunities for both players to win a few in a row, but it does feel like, as you mentioned, the volatility of these picks is really what's doing the players in. Hard to be consistent when we're getting a pool that's getting harder and harder as we're going week by week.
Exactly. It's like if you were to just go into a map pool and you just immediately punch a brick wall with all full force enabled. It's like genuinely the most painful thing you can really go for. And both players have pretty much been doing that back to back as well. We've seen victories that were far out. We've seen victories that were literally kept to under 600 points. And I have no idea how the rest of these picks are going to go, man. Like, it's just been that way throughout the entire match that it may as well just be a Rise vs Ellen battle, and well, both players just winning each other's picks.
Okay, let's see us get into the speed now. 3 minutes long, so you know there's plenty of time to choke.
That's more than enough time to choke, in my opinion. Like, maybe
give
way
me 30
too much
seconds
time.
and I'll do it. So let's have a look here early out the gates. Again, we're seeing a bit of a trend here. Rice Maps Mini Egg on with a bit of an accuracy advantage that actually grows now. JayLye is really struggling to hold these 200s in check. Dropping all the way down to the low 99s. Mini Egg dropping as well, but not dropping it quite as much.
Indeed. I mean, I think it's coming from the power variety this map introduces, because I saw some jacks here and there that, you know, combining just how speed usually is, it's genuinely, like, well, impossible to keep consistent on those things unless you're, like, genuinely a machine, which, I don't know, AI has been rising the past few years since this decade began, as we're pretty much seeing that with Mini Egg at this point, 3,000 points, refusing to give up the accuracy game when it comes to these parents, because you have a lot of bursts to control alongside the fact that you have seen some of these jacks coming in, and exactly, once again, JayLye is the one that finds a drop Mini Egg in such a comfortable position, and they're going to try and keep that going into the backup, but at the same time, the map just does not really let up on the gas pedal whatsoever. Oh,
yeah,
dear God.
Starting to see the discomfort coming in. JayLye dropping more and more. The accuracy going down as well. Whereas Mini Egg on the other side, full combo still 99.7, just about on track for the 990k. And at this now, okay, 38,000 points. I said I wouldn't call maps early, but this one is done. This is done.
This is done. Okay, amazing. Dude, if this was like
over a percent, over a percent difference with like 5 misses on JayLye's side. No, this is not possible to choke.
Yeah, I mean, we were alluding to it earlier. JayLye only needed 2 minutes, and they're already choking, and it's literally in such graphic detail it looks.
Yeah, I mean, this one kind of from the start, it did seem like JayLye wasn't super comfortable when it came to the accuracy, like being able to keep up with the speed here. So reasonable, right? These are maps, like these Rice 1 speed type maps are maps that a lot of players do find a lot of discomfort on overall. But Mini Egg absolutely destroying it. Clean FC once again and managing to retake the lead in the match. 5-4 now.
And honestly, a good point for Mini Egg to stand in, because finally they win off a point of their own. They need to try and win off 2 picks to be able to try and call it quits for this one, because they want to make it out as soon as possible, and Hybrid Free is pretty much going to be your next pick for this one.
Yeah, dipping into more of the hybrids here. Still has 1 hybrid and 1 LN after, but then again, potentially this could be JayLye's last pick. If Mini Egg wins 2 in a row here, will manage to close out the match. So JayLye, very, very important pick here, needs to get one on the board here, or he'll be forced to break point on, you would assume, one of the Rice maps. So we'll see how this one goes. Again, the hybrid's going to be very volatile, and this one in particular, I'm expecting there to be some pretty messy misses if anyone does find the slip up here, whether it's on Mini Egg or JayLye's side. So plenty of opportunity for both of these players to snag a bit of a win. But we'll see how we go, as both players assume it to be readied up any moment now. But this one as well, a little bit of a longer map, so we might be seeing some focus on the consistency and the accuracy overall if they can keep it up. But I would say now, kind of in the stage of the match that we are getting very, very, very important at this stage. Especially for JayLye in this one. I feel like if Mini Egg wins this one, then probably has the opportunity to just close the door on the match. And it looks like we're getting into it now. So both players about to start here. Second venture into the hybrid maps. After, I think, it was Mini Egg that won the first one on Hybrid 1?
Yeah, it was. Dude, it literally took me one toilet break for both players to actually start. Okay, that's an early miss. Amazing. Wow. What a beginning.
You couldn't miss any earlier than that. Definitely going to be a bit of an advantage for JayLye off of that, but if there is any place to miss, it is the very, very beginning here. Just 50 combo into the map, it looks like. So that combo lead is not really going to be as big as you would imagine from a miss. It's mostly just this accuracy that now Mini Egg's going to have to struggle to catch up.
Yeah, pretty much going to immediately put Mini Egg back into fight or flight situations once more. I mean, we've seen it from a lot of maps. There's been a lot of situations where there's been early drops happening, but at the same time, can't really count them out just yet because it's only separated by a stable 3,500 point lead in the favor of JayLye. But again, this map pretty much is one of those that just packs a lot of punches directly to the nose. And as I say that, that's exactly what I was talking about. These pairs just come out flying, and when you aren't too prepared, can be very punishing if you do end up choking on them.
That is enough actually to flick it over to Mini Egg's side. You can see the accuracy from Mini Egg caught up quite well. And that miss from JayLye matters a lot more than Mini Egg's miss because it was right in the middle of the map. It's going to do a bit more for the score. And now Mini Egg in the lead by 1,000 points after JayLye recovers to that 400 combo mark again. But trading it right back. Both players fighting the miss. Gonna go in JayLye's favor at the end though. Mini Egg missing a couple times there.
Yeah, things are not looking so bright for either side, and it's only going to be amplified further with how long this map is. Mini Egg the next to drop once again. The score lead finally in the favor for JayLye by a bit, but at the same time, the map does not stop in density right there. It only just gets even worse as time goes on. A very progressive map at that, as it's still looking like it's 5,500 points in the favor of JayLye for the time being. Finally, things are back to square one. We were seeing it was in the advantage for JayLye, but now going off that kerfuffle of a streak miss between the two. Many trades we had between the two. The only one exchanging with the end of the trade is JayLye, and at the same time accentuate even further off the probably the nail of the coffin drop for Mini Egg here.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We've seen how volatile this is. These misses are very messy from both sides. So far, Mini Egg having a little bit more than JayLye, but can't quite call it just yet. I feel like one or two messy misses from JayLye might be enough. That one is a miss there. Another miss coming in from JayLye. That's going to dent the score lead. And hang on a second. Now we're getting really close now. 2,000 points. It feels like Mini Egg's about to take the lead now. The accuracy just dead even between the two. And there we go. It's about to flicker back. But only 200 points. JayLye's hit the 400 combo mark. I don't know who's in the lead.
It's only like in the oh my god,
JayLye missing, Mini Egg missing as well. It's gonna go back and forth. Mini Egg is gonna come out on top a little bit by that trade at the end. Just needs to hold on, but not gonna hold on at the end. Is it gonna be JayLye's point?
This guy!
Oh my god, JayLye! How are you doing this? How are you doing this every map?
Bro!
This is scripted.
What was that? Yeah, at this point, we're literally just writing the wall with this script. What is this?
The accuracy is tied. Both players got like the same amount of breaks. Maybe Mini Egg with a tiny amount more of these combo breaks, and that's all that matters here. But this is the third the third map now that JayLye has won in the last couple of seconds, clutching it out.
Bro, even that just feels even more disrespectful than the others because it was down to repeated trades at the very end. Whereas, like, you know, in the other situations where Miniac just gave it up at the end, it only took what? No trades at all. It was just down to an FC, and this was the point where it was that, but it was happening to both players. So it was just very, very RNG. That lead could have gone to anyone's favor, but bro, even Miniac doesn't even want to play the tiebreaker. That's how messed up this match is, man. Oh my god.
Please win the next two. Both players gonna be pushed to their limits here.
Even the ref doesn't even want to be pushed here. They don't even want to send the ref command.
But we'll see how it goes. Both players get their option. One pick each, guaranteed. Mini Egg has 2 Rice picks left. Gonna go with Rice 5 over Rice 4. And after that, JayLye going to be able to pick his choice of Hybrid 2 or LN2. So these, again, both ways, both of these maps can go. I feel like all 3 possible outcomes are not only possible, but likely.
Yeah, exactly. Only 2 that JayLye has to pick between as Rice 5 being the option for Miniac is... This is honestly the risk of all time, man. Like, just knowing that it was between this map or Korjak, this is a literal Speed of Light 2 reuse we're talking about. This is like one of the most abrasive maps from the late game of that, but it's only just about 3 seconds shy of the 2-minute marker, and this map itself is like, it's generally probably the most RNG. It's like if you were to translate the RNG-ness of Hyper Free and put it into a map. So this being the penultimate map before Tiebreaker is like, oh my god, man. What even are these 2 players doing? Like, I just can't, like, I can't even predict how this pick's gonna go. Is this series gonna go in the favor of Miniac, or can JayLye take it? Because both these players may as well just be playing a mirror at this point. They're just playing in time trial mode against a ghost.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say so far, I mean, what we've seen so far, Miniac has had the accuracy advantage in the Rice. But the problem with that is, this is not an accuracy advantage map. I do not think this map is going to be decided by accuracy. This is a map where we highly likely to see misses. Like, who is going to miss is the real question here, and how big are the drops going to be? We'll have to see, because this is less than 2 minutes now.
Exactly. The final shortest map we could have afforded in a map pool like this, and is being thrown out in the worst possible situations where you really need to be forced to break a tie if you don't want to go for the tiebreaker map. We're literally going into this map. There's a lot of bursts immediately being thrown, in which no one has an advantage. Still literally in the middle, the very lucky neutral for Iris side, but now JayLye's dropped a little bit. There's some signals that they are human. Finally, I found the points in the favor of Miniac, but how long is that going to last for when the map is so short? There you have no time to breathe whatsoever, much like I don't.
Absolutely. Here again, Miniac, a little bit of an accuracy advantage, but not by much at all. This is just 1,000 points. And we're going to be getting more of these jack patterns. Every single one of these feels like a drop is imminent. But which side is going to come through first? Hard to predict here, as it seems JayLye slowly dropping the accuracy over time. This lead is going to grow a little bit in favor of Miniac at the halfway mark.
And as soon as you pointed out, Miniac takes probably a really good drop. That's going to bring JayLye into the forefront of the focuses once again. There's only really 1 further map remaining, and somehow JayLye still keeping on to the FC. For dear life, they have no other option yet. It's literally going towards the end of the map. There's still so many bursts you really need to look out for, but if it does come down to a miss, it's over. Oh my god! Okay, I'm done with this.
Big miss there, yeah, massive. I was gonna say, the accuracy almost was getting to the point where Miniac could have taken it back for accuracy, but JayLye finding the messier miss out of the 2 there. It's gonna give Miniac a big lead in the outro here. 10,000 points does find a miss, but it's not gonna matter. It's too late in the map. I'm not going to be baited by that one. It's still 8,000 points, and Miniac manages to close it out It's going to be match point for Mini Egg first.
Can we just appreciate Potassium for a second? I genuinely, I was like genuinely thinking that it probably could have happened, but thankfully for Mini Egg, it's like not gonna be enough to bring it back over to the favor of JayLye. Thank God we don't see another robbery, because this probably would have been the worst possible map to be robbed on, honestly.
I am happy that Mini Egg didn't lose another one of these, because yeah, as you said, like that would have been devastating. There's been too many of those already this match, and they've all been one-sided for some reason. Exactly. JayLye having ridiculous luck in that regard, but we'll see, because we still have at least one more to play. JayLye gets the pick. It's gonna be Hybrid 2, so all 3 hybrids coming out here. We'll see if this ends up like Hybrid 3.
Dude, but please no. I cannot take this anymore, man. If it does go like Hybrid 3 again, I might actually just lose it. There's no way.
Well, we'll have to see here. JayLye gonna be hoping it does, because gonna be forcing a tiebreaker potentially if he wins this one, or alternatively Mini Egg could end the match right here. We've already seen Mini Egg really doesn't want to play the tiebreaker, so you can bet that he's gonna be playing really hard on this map.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, it doesn't even seem like either player even wants to go tiebreaker. I mean, Mini Egg literally outright stated it in the IRC. The ref doesn't want to do it, and then JayLye literally is saying word to word, I just want to rest. True, Jack Hell. Soul emoji.
The stamina at this point, you know, I can't imagine the pools these days with the level of map that we're seeing, the physicality. Playing for over an hour now, this is going the full distance. Your stamina has to be absolutely in the bin. And then, by the way, we have the really long, hardest map in the pool that we have to play now, guys. It's gonna be hard for both players if that ends up being the case. But if JayLye wants to win and see another week of play at least in Cat Yum Cup, he's gonna have to do it. There's no other way.
Precisely. It's like you're just putting both these players in some kind of lecture. You have all their individual brain cells just like, you know, in the room. They're all just looking at the professor, and then the professor says, yeah, you need to play the tiebreaker. And they all just like start screaming at the top of their lungs because they're just tired. We want to go home. We have a wife and 2 kids, but no, the tiebreaker's here. You're going to have to play for it. But they're not going to go for that outcome yet. They have to still go for Hybrid 2, regardless of which it's the final pick before a potential tiebreaker. It's either make or break for Mini Egg, and JayLye is the first to miss. Amazing.
Yeah, early miss there, just before the 400 combo mark, so not going to be the end of the world yet. It is not that long of a map, though, so it's not going to have too much time to recover. Going to have to increase this accuracy well enough.
And these increases are going to have to be pretty significant if JayLye wants to take it back as well, because again, we've seen these quote-unquote comfortable leads. I can't even say comfortable anymore, because these are just genuinely so disgusting to look at. I genuinely fear the idea of people being ahead by nearly 6,000 points. I mean, again, JayLye is just dropping by minuscule amounts, but at the same time, it's like, we've seen it happen time and time again.
No such thing as a comfortable lead. Here we go.
Oh my god.
We're back in it once again. Mini Egg, little bit of a miss there. Still should have the advantage though. Has that AC lead, but not by much. There's another miss. That's gonna do it. JayLye taking the lead for the first time in this map, right at the halfway point. But still, accuracy lead in favor of Mini Egg. This is not over.
It's far from over. There's still so many patterns, and you know, knowing this one, at least based off some previous maps that Rizzus himself has made for other tournaments, it's like there's just so much you really need to demand. Every time you have a Jack hybrid, there's still a lot of shields you didn't work your way with, and now JayLye ahead of the game. Mini Egg could have won with this one, but if JayLye takes this, then they're gonna have to go tiebreaker. The one thing that neither of them Neither of them even won right now. 2,000 points is literally the only thing separated two, and there's still drops. Wait, this could be it. Wait, this could actually be a victory for Miniac if it does come. If it doesn't come down. Oh wow!
Oh, but the miss at the end again. It's 4,000 points in JayLye's favor. Still the accuracy advantage for Miniac. This could still go both ways, but there's only a few seconds left in the map. We've seen this once before. JayLye in a little bit of a lead, 5,000 points, just has to hold on to the combo. But that's going to be it. We're going to be seeing a tiebreaker.
We're seeing a tiebreaker. Oh my god. Yeah. They are going to have to go through the one thing that they do not want. The subtle foreshadowing we kept talking about for the past half hour. We are getting into the tiebreaker. TB Hype in the chat. TB Hype everywhere you can go. But JayLye wants the timeout first. Honestly, thank you. You've genuinely saved my life right there, JayLye. You don't know how many lives you've saved today, man.
This is absolutely insane, and I feel like both players are starting to reach the edge of their limits, but 7 minutes is still going to be the length of map that they're gonna have to play. Going to need a rest here, so yeah, the timeout's being called, of course.
Dude, if there was no timeout being thrown out here, I genuinely would have lost it, because how, dude? I think all the adrenaline that both these players are gone. Like, the cortisol must be so high on either side that it's like, none of them even want to go into this one. There's like nothing else I can really say. Like, both these players have just directly stated it out in the IRC chat, and now they're gonna have to pick at the gun for against each other, because now things are pretty much at the worst possible stage it could have been on, and at this point gonna be amplified even further now that they are realizing the gravity of the situation that they're in, albeit not in the lobby right now, taking some rest to cool them nerves off.
Of course,
the best time you can do it. I mean, you
need
have
to have
right?
a bit of rest. Yeah, they've been playing non-stop for a very long time on some very difficult maps, and the hardest one of all about to come up here for them. Going to be a big challenge, and honestly, I'm trying to think of the prediction of this. I can only see this going one way. It's gonna be Hybrid 3 again. That's the only outcome I can possibly see. Dude, there is no way that we get big combos on this map. Like, this is going to be miss galore.
It's gonna be the worst thing ever, man. Oh my god. You may as well just call this Hybrid 4, even though it literally just is that. You know, like, honestly, I'm still like startled at the idea that both these players are like going into that, and if it does end up going any way similar to Hybrid 3, now that both players are more than awake at this point, it's like, what do you even do? What options do you have when your back's against the wall?
Well, you just gotta try your best. will not be a PB performance for either of these players at this point, for sure, but you never really know. Yeah. I think, like, these players are just cracked in general. They could definitely pull out some crazy scores, but I think it's definitely going to be hard if they're running out of steam. So we'll see if 5 minutes is enough. Well, I guess they get 7 minutes in total, right? The two regular minutes plus the 5 minute timeout.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, timeouts are 5 minutes long. Okay, that is long.
Yeah, plenty of time. Plenty of time. I mean, it can be reasonable depending on what it's for, you know. There's cases where you have, you know, some technical troubles perhaps that might take 5 minutes to restart your PC or something.
Indeed, yeah. Pretty much a lot of room you can really use to do a lot of things, in which our ref is also utilizing that as a bit of a questionnaire for all of us here. While we're waiting, what are some no-skip albums y'all know?
I don't really listen to that many albums, I'm gonna be real. So my current music listening trends have been, well, they used to be dictated by Osu, now they're entirely dictated by AMQ. So I've just been playing Anime Music Quiz the entire time. So that's all I know now, actually. Anime music.
Honestly, very fair enough. There's been like a lot of animes recently that have been upping their music game when it came to intros and endings, etc. I mean, honestly, the One Punch Man like opening thing is probably like one of the best like openings ever. Like the first season one, at least, when it comes to animes. Let's just put that there.
Yeah, the Jam Project classic, of course.
Hell yeah. I mean, there's a reason I mapped it like 4 years ago, but I doubt anyone's like been around enough to like remember that I mapped it because I've just never like mentioned it until like now. So
okay. I mean, the way you phrase that is making me a little bit sad. I doubt anyone's been around enough for 4 years.
I mean, no, we have, but like I don't think anyone's like told a map. I'll say like we were around for that, but like I don't think anyone like knew it existed at the time it came out, or like people even remember it going to now.
2022 was like the last time I played the game, man.
Genuinely, it was honestly such an insane period, bro. Early 2022 genuinely went crazy for me because it was like the point I was like just going out to like actually walk like 3 kilometers every day at that point. Honestly, hit different. Oh yeah, hit like crack.
That sounds like a good thing to get into. Honestly, I might have a look at something like that in the future. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Don't quite have the same like level of stamina I used to for Osu. That's for sure. Need some other hobbies on the side.
You should get into leg day.
Get into leg day.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. You might enjoy it. Surely.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
But wait, is the 5 minutes up now? I feel like it's almost up. Like about now, right? I think we saw JayLye pop in for a little bit before, but.
Honestly, I'm not even sure either. It's been quite a bit, but this isn't the longest time out that I've been for personally, right? So,
yeah, hopefully we get them back in the lobby. They should be getting in any minute now, any second, because I feel like this timer is just about run out. It has been 5 minutes, pretty much since that timeout.
Yeah,
the timer applied at least. And that would be the worst way of ending this match, would be win by default, because they're not in the lobby.
Dude, applying win by default timers to like the literal tiebreakers or like something like that would honestly be like the silliest thing to ever like touch the Mania tournament community. Like, it's not one thing that I've seen. I'm used to seeing it at the start of matches, not the end of the matches, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we got JayLye in here now. Mini Egg should be here any second, surely. Timer is definitely over by this point.
Yeah.
But we should be getting into things any second now. Hopefully the players rested up enough, going to be prepared to play this absolute gauntlet.
Yeah, this is... You know, even saying this is an absolute goal is just kind of underselling it a bit. This is, like, honestly, one of the scariest maps you can go to. It's, like, basically EX1 if it was playable.
Okay.
Mini eggs in. Let's go.
Go into it. Both players up in here, ready to go in. The last map we're going to be seeing of the semifinals.
The finale is upon us, and now only one way from here is up. Rites of Ascendancy, Cupver, mapped by basically everyone in the mapping team. I know this is like a mega collab. This is your 7-minute and 15-second map of the semifinals map pool, and probably the scariest map you could really go into in that regard.
Yeah, we love the 7-minute cut there. Always good to see.
Bro, 7-minute
sure the players
are like insane. Oh yeah,
I'm sure the players appreciate the like any extra time they can get cut from this one, because it's still so long. But here we go, last map in this one. I'm expecting some fireworks back and forth, because the misses are definitely going to be incoming. The accuracy, the ratio, not going to matter too much, I feel like, here. But we'll see who has that upper physicality, that upper stamina level to be able to still play at their peak this late into the match.
Call this July 4th. Once again, the way we'll be seeing some fireworks come in. You only really have this section to start things off. Just some roll coordination with staggered releases here and there, and no advantages to be seen as both players do what they can with this. This is as easy as the map gets, and that's genuinely horrifying to think about, as we will slowly pick up the pace. Minieg finally on the gas pedal once again, as JayLye is also steadying themselves once more. This is going to be quite the bumpy one if I've seen any, but we will go into the first drop just like that, and we are already off to some start with how no one even has an advantage, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, accuracies should be slowly dropping throughout this section. Bit of an accuracy drop here and there from Minieg, but JayLye is going to be the first one to find a break. Down to 99.2 as well. Not enough to gain a lead for Minieg, as Minieg finds the miss back. We're trading back and forth. Both players still on the same accuracy, but JayLye missing a little bit too many times for comfort, it seems. Another miss coming in, and Minieg now 3,000 points in the lead.
Yeah, 2 misses from JayLye. Free at that, as well as Minieg gonna negate one of those misses. So far, things are already negated a bit. And the JayLye to miss twice already. 2 shots to the chest once again. Minieg doesn't really have much time to blow the smoke off the gun either, when it's now 7,000 points in his favor, which could very easily go swinging back in the favor of JayLye, but that's the one thing that Minieg wants to avoid. It's either Minieg just wants to win or he just wants to give it to JayLye, but at this point, it's a survival to the fittest. There's a lot of these gnarly one-handed drills that we can see here. I would honestly just fold immediately seeing these parents, but JayLye is the next to miss that, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, I feel like the misses aren't too one-sided either way. Both players finding the misses, but the cleanliness of these misses is really what's standing out here. JayLye is all the way on the low 98%, while Minieg almost a full percent above. That's where this entire lead is coming from right now, and JayLye really needs to try his best to really increase this accuracy lead if he wants to stay in the match.
Genuinely, performances from Minieg, especially looking cleaner than a pickup line at that. Things are genuinely looking so insane for either side that Minieg at least has a comfortable advantage for the time being. At the same time, the map only is just past its first third. There's still so much to be desired from either side, as you have a lot of rise difficulties to go off of, but maybe that's exactly what Minieg is trying to bank on right now, because again, he was exploiting JayLye on those kinds of maps to begin with, going throughout the good remainder of the match, besides from some robbed victories that were in the beginning, but doesn't seem like this victory is going to be robbed just yet. There's this trail section, which has varying snaps, varying speeds as well. Then you go back into shields right away, and there's a lot of split trail transition visual pairing that we can see right here that Minieg just simply capitalized. Okay, no, he's not capitalizing off this anymore. GG's.
Yeah, and any little amount is going to help for JayLye to get back in this. Actually, accuracy recovery from JayLye is doing very well so far. 98.7 now. Catching back up, but it's a slow process, and Minieg actually going to help out a little bit more with another miss. Traded by JayLye right after. So all things neutral, and now we're getting back into the miss wars. Who is going to be the last to miss? Minieg finds another couple in a row, but maintaining the accuracy right where it is.
The fact that he's maintaining the accuracy while going for that section is quite a statement to make, because JayLye was hanging on to the combo and managed to make a policy cap just going for that section alone. There could have been a potential, but now that's going to decrease Minieg's score by quite an amount going into the back half, as there's still only so much you can really do. This next coordination section, no one trips up on it. There's still so much to go for, and you're immediately introduced to these bursts as well, which are going to destroy any L players, but they are just not budging right now. If anything, JayLye is the one that's dropping a little bit, but it's by such a negligible amount that is just being kept exactly where it was even a minute ago.
Yeah, they're both holding it together in the same section, both finding the misses in the same sections as well, and so far Minieg holding on to this 10,000 point lead. Not going to be safe by any means, especially with a miss like that. That's going to cut this lead nearly in half, as JayLye still holding on, still increasing the accuracy over time. This hack has gotten really close all of a sudden, and there's still a third of the map left to go.
Precisely. That lead of Miniac being sliced like a slice of bread is honestly going to be pretty insane. Just going out the final quarter of the map. Another missed opening from Miniac once again. The run is back. JayLye probably still has it in him. The dog in him is coming out if it's going to come down to an FC run, but it chokes again on these rice batters. Not going to allow that to be the outcome. And the LN tails on the side of JayLye is just oh my god, I have no idea what's happening anymore. But now all that's left is just a slow burn for whoever loses the final coordination section, and it's literally reduced to all its difficulty. The nerves might explode here if anyone drops.
Yes, it's 7,000 points of lead, but with all the hard parts of the map done out of the way, it's gonna be... I mean, is there a chance of coming back here? 7,000 points is a lot when you have a map that's this long, maybe a couple of misses required. But are the couple of misses going to actually happen here? It seems like both players comfortable holding out this outro so far.
I have a feeling for this section, it might heavily depend on how weak your nerves feel, because we've seen it throughout this entire match that there was a lot of maps that ended up being lost by some last-minute occurrences, in which this section is probably the worst point to really lose on because of the fact that, yes, it may as well just feel like the map's over in terms of difficulty. The physicality is gone, but all you have is just literal inverse. You have a Shuchon map that you're playing right now, and yet somehow Miniegg has basically done it. 8,000 points. It seems that he has finally done it and slain the warrior that was JayLye after countless attempts at trying to take everything they could at this matchup. Unfortunately, all these efforts can now go to rest, as JayLye will be the player coming home from this matchup, therefore allowing Miniegg to punch his ticket right onto the red carpet of the finals weekend losers bracket.
Yeah, unfortunately for here, JayLye going to be eliminated here in the semi-finals, but put up a really strong fight, and Miniegg going to be securing that finals weekend spot. Actually already has the matchup available. I believe it's going to be Angela.
Hang on. Wait, there's no way, right? It's between Angela or...
It is Angela. Miniegg versus Angela in that challenge. Gonna be a really exciting match happening. As the maps are getting harder and harder, we'll see if Miniegg can hold on to those later on. But congratulations, really exciting match from both players, this one.
Indeed. Definitely one of the premier matches of this whole tournament thus far, because this was genuinely such a crazy match from start to finish. Even if it come down to the end being fairly dominant, there was points where you could have definitely thrown out what could have been argument either way. But that said, commiserations and congratulations to both players for making it this far, and honestly, saluting JayLye for his efforts being able to make it this far as well, albeit Miniegg just took it to the next measure when he absolutely needed to in that tiebreaker alone, and will use that to make it towards their match against Angela in the finals, which is also going to be quite a dense match as well, honestly. So do be on the lookout for that. There's still a lot that we have to look out for, but this does it for our semifinals block of matches. Now that the other match we were meant to have ended up in a forfeit as well, but I think the only thing to really wait for is the finals map pool showcase, which will be tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure you go stay tuned for that one. That's going to be a little bit later, as you said. I think tomorrow is going to be when that's going to happen, but stay tuned for one of the last pools. These pools, I'm sure, are about to get even crazier than they are right now. And good luck to the players who are going to have to practice and play them in the match as well.
Precisely. Only really just a lot you have to look out for, especially in tomorrow's map pools. But that said, I've been Epic Man 2, joined with Potassium F. We can finally save our breaths for tomorrow. Be there, be square for the finals map pool showcase. When it happens, we'll let you know when. Thanks for watching. Be there, be square, and we'll catch you then. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching.